Right now at Gap Factory and Banana Republic Factory, save 50 to 70% off everything in stores and online. That's right, 50 to 70% off everything. Celebrate the 4th with dresses from $19.99 at Banana Republic Factory. And at Gap Factory stores, tees start at $4.99. Plus, save an extra 40% off clearance. Sale ends Tuesday. Search our store locator for your nearest Gap Factory and Banana Republic Factory store or shop us online.
You're tuning into a Goldilocks Productions presentation of the InnerSpeak Soul Adventures radio show with Adrienne. Jean is the creator of InnerSpeak, a method for clearing karmic and ancestral blocks. She's the author of 4 books and 2 decks of metaphysical clearing and activation cards. Jean offers private sessions via phone or Skype, as well as her office located in Blairsville, Georgia. Call in now to reserve your spot on the switchboard. The call-in number is 657-383-1895. Enjoy this soul-healing show.
Good afternoon. Happy Monday, and welcome to InnerSpeak Soul Adventures. I'm your host, Adrienne, and I am just thrilled to be here with you again today, as in every Monday. So I invite you to call on in now. The call-in number is 657-383-1895. I've got my InnerSpeak cards ready to go. I'm ready to be here to help you to try to get a handle on what's going on in your life and clear away any obstacles on your path that are holding you back from being all that you can be. And I want to kind of start the show off today with a different kind of little reading. I have a deck of cards called the Being of Love Creation Cards. And so I just got done pulling 5 cards from that deck. And how I use these cards is that the first card that I pull is what it is that we are corporately in mass consciousness, those who are listening to the show, what we're working on right now to try to master. And guess what that card is? Self-love. You know, and I know that that's a biggie for each and every one of us. You know, I know it has been for me in this lifetime, and I'm guessing it is for you as well. You know, we have so much stuff laid on us from the past, from old belief systems that don't serve us, and this, that, and the other that tell us that we're not good enough, that we're not worthy, and that we shouldn't love ourselves. And, you know, that is all just so wrong. These are old paradigms that are based on old lies. They're not based on the truth of who we are. And the truth of who we are is that we are a unique aspect of the divine. And, you know, we're created in the image of the divine. We are that. And so in mastering that, the second card that I pull is what's the biggest challenge? And it's just what I was talking about. It's the game board of life. It's all the stuff that we deal with when we come into incarnation. We come in here and we're a blank slate. You know, we're a little baby that doesn't know whether it's a boy or a girl, whether it's Cajun or Native American or Hispanic. I mean, you know, it just is. It comes in and it's ready to be fed and it's ready to be cuddled and loved and kept warm and safe and dry. And over time, all of this stuff from the game board of life just gets laid on our heads. We take on a persona that's not necessarily relative to the truth of our divinity. So what tool do we use in order to help to lift away the damage and the detriment and the untruths from the game board of life? Well, it's our consciousness. It's connecting in to higher consciousness, not to our small self, and allowing our consciousness to awaken and to help us to remember who we are. The second challenge that I'm being shown today in these cards is claiming our power. You know, we tend to play small, and you know, Marianne Williamson spoke of that into the book that it was actually put in Nelson Mandela's inauguration speech that, it doesn't serve any of us to play small. We're here to exhibit the truth of who we are, to claim our power and to stand in it. And so the tool to help us to stand in our power is harmony, is to let go and allow our consciousness to take us to an octave where we can be in harmony with our soul and in harmony with all that is. So I hope that helps you today to remember your truth and to move into your mastery of self-love. And we've got our first caller. So area code 650. Who am I speaking with, please?
Hi, thank you for taking my call. My name is Miranda.
Hi, Miranda, and how can I help you today?
Oh, I was just wondering what you picked up in terms of whether there were any karmic ties or anything, any blocks holding me back in moving forward with my goals.
All right. Well, just take a moment, surrender to spirit, and ask for help. And I'm going to pull the red card, which is the source of anything that might be holding you back. And interesting, the card that comes up says overwhelmed by an authority figure. So that plays right into the cards that I pulled from the Being of Love cards about how we give our power away, and we allow other people to take our power, or we believe that we're not strong enough to stand up to them. So let's see what the setup for you is around this one, Miranda, and then we'll clear it. We'll get setup, soul reaction, stuck belief, and then we'll do clearing. So the orange cards are the setup. So I'm going to pull 2 orange cards. It'll be this one and this one. Okay, so the setup around allowing yourself to be overwhelmed by others and giving your power away is the fact that you have been lied to. I'm sure you've been lied to and betrayed many times in your lifetime, because we all have, but I think the big lie is that others are better than I am, or we're not good enough, that kind of thing. And so up until this point, you've sort of been stuck walking a path that you know is not right for yourself, but you have allowed this to continue in your life. And so let's see what this has done to your soul. So the next card, the yellow cards, are the soul reaction cards. And it's this one. It says lack of forgiveness is blocking resolution. So this could be lack of forgiveness of anybody who's ever betrayed you or lied to you, but it also can be, and generally is, lack of forgiveness for self, for every time that you have subjugated yourself and let somebody else run the show, run your show, drive your bus, when it would have been more appropriate for you to do that. And there's a stuck belief, and that's going to be, others are better than me. Came out of my mouth earlier. So let's just clear this, because, you're not better than anybody else, but nobody's better than you, sweetie. And you've got great gifts, and really, you're about to step out into a new direction from what I'm seeing. So let's clear this so that you can do this, and you can do this in integrity, and you can do this holding your own power. All right.
Sounds
so, good. Yeah. The first clearing card is this one, and this one is this one. You have energetic debris inside your body and out in your field. That is, this debris is just thought forms. Every time you think a thought, you make a thing. So if you allow these things to exist inside your body and out in your field, what they do is they act like magnets, and they'll continue to attract to you through the law of attraction people, places, and situations that make you feel like you felt when you thought the thought. So it's a self-fulfilling prophecy, and it goes back to that game board of life, making us be less than and not love ourselves as fully as Creator God loves us. So I just want you to take a moment and ask Spirit to remove all of the mirrors, all this energetic debris that looks like mirrors in your body and out in your field. So you can stop attracting people who betray you, lie to you, and don't see you for the light that you are. Okay, good job. And now I want you to imagine that you're looking into a beautiful mirror. And when you look in that mirror, you see Miranda as she's been up to this point in her life, who has let other people take the driver's seat, who has believed lies that you were not as good as somebody else or that you created those lies. So I want you just to see that image, and I want you to gently blow on the mirror and just blow that image of yourself away so that you can see who you really are. Strong, powerful, beautiful being of light that is Miranda. And then finally, I want you to create in your imagination a bottle. Now, this bottle can be as ornate or as plain as you want it to be. But what I want you to do is I want you to invite into the bottle all old beliefs that are limiting you, holding you back in any way, shape, or form. We'll start with others are better than me, but there's a whole slew of them behind that. And just invite them, like the rats that followed the Pied Piper, into this bottle. And when they're all inside the bottle, put a cork in it and give it to the beautiful angel who's standing right next to you. And let that angel take all of these limitations to the light. Okay, you receive blessings for having the courage to call in today. So let's see what the angels have for you as far as blessings. I'm going to pull 3 angel blessing cards. The first one is release from overwhelm. The second one is a centeredness and calmness that will enable you to see and to accomplish your purpose. And your final blessing today is renewed faith in yourself. And Miranda, it's gratitude that owns every clearing. So just take a moment and give thanks to your angels, teachers, and guides. And, buckle your seatbelt, sweetie, because as you stand in your power and just begin to take that first step forward, the first step on every journey is always the hardest one. But do it and surrender to spirit and allow your angels and your guides to move you forward in the direction that is for the highest good of your soul. And then keep in touch with me and let me know how that manifests in your life, because I think it's going to be glorious. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so I know I can see on the switchboard that we've got other callers that are out there in listen mode only. If you want to get a clearing from me, you need to press 1 so that I can know that you want to do more than just listen. If you want to listen, hey, that's fine too. But if you would like a clearing, you need to press 1 because you're not in the queue until you actually hear that automated voice say, "You're now in the host queue." So, I think, I love how synchronicity plays and, how I pulled those cards from the being of love. And the very first caller that we had was actually typifying and was, showing us what does that mean in our life. Because a lot of times, until you actually hear an example, you don't really get what it means when someone's doing these clearings. And I also want to add that every time I do a clearing for anybody, so that wasn't just for Miranda, but everybody out there who is selling themselves short and having difficulty with self-love and with claiming their power, and who think that they're not good enough or that others are better than them. So that was a clearing for all of us, me included, because I sometimes fall into that trap too. So if you would like to get a reading with me today, the number to call is area code 657-383-1895. And we're in new moon. So, this is a time to release the stuff from the past that's holding you back and plant the seeds that you want to manifest in your life. And we've got another caller. This one is area code 803. So who am I speaking with today?
Hi, Jean. It's Hillary.
Hey, Hillary. How are you this afternoon?
I'm good. What I'm looking for today to clear is confusion. Confusion that's kind of distracting me from being able to surrender. All of this stuff that you're already talking about right now, about giving away our power and not standing up for ourselves and in our own space. I feel like there's a lot of confusion going on around me that's holding me back from from getting that clarity and to be able to surrender and not be attached to outcomes in my life.
All right. So take a moment, surrender to Spirit, and ask for help. And it's interesting that the very first card, the source card that I pulled, is overwhelmed by an authority figure. So I'm actually going to go for some more clarity on this one. Okay, so the second source card that I pulled says parallel or future life. So this is an aspect of you in another dimension that is overwhelming you and causing you confusion about how to step into your power and claim exactly what you want to create in your life from your truth. Okay, so let's see what the setup is for you. Okay, so what's going on in this other dimension is fear-based. It says that this aspect of you is dealing with a child or a loved one who's been taken away, and it's created a broken heart. So there's some bleed through on that the confusion that I'm feeling, this is a feminine aspect, and the confusion that I'm feeling from it is a lot of second guessing. Well, I should have done this, or if I'd have done that, or blah, blah, blah. And so what that's doing is it's keeping you from having the clarity in your reality of, okay, I want to do this, and I want to do this, and I want to do this, and I deserve that, because you're hearing sort of like the song of this other aspect of yourself going, oh, man, I screwed up. I should have done this. If I had done this, this wouldn't have happened, and I wouldn't have my heart broken. Does that make sense?
It does.
All right, so let's see what is going on with the soul of this other aspect, and this is really where you connect in. And again, it's lack of forgiveness is blocking resolution. So there's a stuck belief. Let's find that, and then we're going to clear this. This one right here. I can't have what I want. Okay. So I'm going to pull 3 of the green clearing cards. And fan them out here and see which 3 belong to you. That one for sure. And this one. And that one. Okay. So let's see what we got here. All right. So the first thing that I want you to do is I want you to close your eyes and I want you to connect with this other aspect of you. Let's go connect up high. Let your higher self go find her and connect with her at the level of her higher self. And when you feel that connection, I want you to ask her, heart to heart, what can I do to help you? And then I want you to take her by the hand energetically, and the 2 of you walk together into St. Germain's beautiful violet flame bonfire. And allow all resentment, all lack of forgiveness, all judgment of self and others to be burned away, both from her and from you. And any limiting beliefs such as I can't have what I want, which is bogus, totally bogus. Let that be burned away as well by the violet flame. And what this is impacting on you is your heart center. So I want you to put your attention on your heart center, and I want you to invite it to open up and to release all the wounds from your lifetime, as well as all of the wounds that have bled through from other dimensional aspects of you. And just allow your heart center to heal itself, to balance its energies front and back, yin and yang, and to completely open to the flow of God's abundance so that you can receive into your heart center everything you desire, everything you require from Source. The Source is your supply. That's what Source means. And so that you can manifest out through the back of your heart center in complete balance all those things that you wish to create in your reality. And you receive blessings for having the courage to step up to the plate and do this work. So let's see what the angels have in store for you. Okay, this one. The first one is opening to miracles right off the top. The second one is release from overwhelm. And the third one is courage. Courage to follow the command of your heart. And it's gratitude that owns every clearing. So just take a moment now and give thanks. And both for you and for Miranda, because I forgot to do this, let's just take a moment and update all your reference points so that you're not looking at the world through the eyes of the old reality. Great. And thank you so much for calling in today, and I hope that helped.
Thanks, Jean. I feel much better. Thanks.
Good. All right, we've got another caller. It's area code 214. Who am I speaking with?
Hi there. Thank you for taking my call.
And what's your name?
It's Cora.
Hi, Cora. So how can I help you today?
Well, I would like to resolve some issues on, I work as a healer myself, but I seem to keep, it's like, I don't know, no matter how much I clear it, advancing forward and putting the work out there.
Okay. So block on creating a successful business.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So just take a moment, surrender to spirit, and ask for help. All right, Cora. This is a block you created for yourself to master this lesson before you were born. This occurred during your gestation, when you were in your mother's womb. Let's see, was it first trimester? Second trimester of gestation. So I don't know if you know anything at all about what was going on with your mom while she was pregnant with you, like 4th, 5th, 6th month, somewhere around in there. But let's see what the orange cards are going to tell us to be the setup on this. I'm going to pull 2 of the orange cards. And the first one says loss of faith in self, others, or God. And the second one says child or loved one taken away. And oh my, your mother was pregnant with twins when
that makes so much. I always felt that when I was young. I always talked to my other self, and I felt like there was another me.
Yeah,
and
there was another you.
So interesting.
Yeah, well, you know what? This happens more often than medical science would like to say, and more often than not, the mother never knows that she was actually had 2 fertilized embryos growing within her. And generally what happens is that there's either a genetic mismatch or the mother's body's just not strong enough to support 2 babies. And usually what ends up happening is that the other fetus is absorbed back into the placental wall. And this actually happened for you at around the 4th month of gestation. And this soul had decided it was going to come in as a little boy. So it would have been a fraternal twin. And just things didn't work. So, yeah. So that's what's holding you back. You're having a hard time giving birth to the masculine, reaching out and creating in the world the way you want it, because you've got this impingement of a memory of something that happened before you were born that's holding you back. Let's see what this did to your soul, because this is where you're connecting into this right now. And I'm going to pull 2 of these because the first one that came up is lack of forgiveness, which has come up for every reading I've done today so far. So you're blaming yourself for what happened to this child that would have been your brother, but and it had nothing to do with you, nothing at all. But what ended up happening was creating shame and humiliation. So this energy around shame and humiliation is what you keep attracting to yourself throughout your life, and it's really what's holding you back. because it's not the energy of love, it's not the energy of creation. So your manifestation of your business is not happening the way you want it to, and there's a stuck belief. Let's see what that one is. And that is, I don't deserve to have the success I want. So let's clear this, because you absolutely do deserve it, which is, goes back to those being of love creation cards that I pulled at the beginning of the show. And if you missed that part, if you called in too late for that, you can go back and listen to the show later and get the reading off of that. And mastering self-love was what that was all about. All right, so let's see what we need to do. Clear this. Okay, so the first thing I want you to do is I want you to ask and intend that your vibration be raised as high as is humanly possible for you, right here, right now, above the level of shame and humiliation. Just let Spirit amp you up and just feel that flowing into you. And then what I want you to do is I want you to go back in time, back down the timeline, go back inside your mother's womb, and I want you to do some forgiveness work. So little baby Cora, not even born yet, needs to forgive this brother who abandoned her in the womb for leaving her all alone. She needs to forgive her mother, because at some level she's blaming her mother for not allowing her brother to come in with her. She needs to forgive God, because there's some resentment there about, how dare you? How could you do this to me? And she needs to forgive herself, because big time she's blaming herself for the loss of her brother. And now what I want you to do is I want you to do what I asked Miranda to do. I want you to create a bottle, and I want you to put the limiting beliefs, I don't deserve, and any other limiting beliefs you're holding on to, I'm not good enough, others are better than me, all of those things. Abandonment, fear of abandonment, fear of not being taken seriously. Put all that stuff into the bottle. Put a cork into it and give it to Archangel Michael. He's your gatekeeper. And let him take that bottle away. You don't need to carry this burden any longer. And you receive blessings from the angels for doing this work. So let's see what your blessings are today, my dear. The first one is a healing from your awakened inner. The second one is centeredness and calmness, enabling you to see and accomplish your purpose. And the final one is release from overwhelm. And it's gratitude that owns every clearing. So just take a moment and give thanks to your angels, teachers, and guides. That all of your reference points are updated, all ways in which you perceive and you are perceived in the world. And I just did, this past weekend, I did a workshop, an online workshop, about a little over an hour, and it was about helping your business to thrive. It was a bunch of tools that I shared, and you can still take that workshop. It's like $44, and if you go on my website, JeanneAdrienne.com/class, you'll find it's called Thrive, and you can sign up for it, and I'll send you the link so that you can go back and participate, and I'll send you all of the worksheets and tip sheets if that will help you to get yourself thriving instead of striving in your career, because you're a very gifted healer, sweetie, and the world's ready for you. They need you, so you need to get it out there so everybody knows. Thank you for calling.
Yes. Oh, thank you so much. That brought a lot of clarity.
Great.
Yeah.
All right. And also,
wow.
I don't know if you're aware, if you go on my website and sign up for my newsletter, when you do that, and when you opt in, you get a link back to the online version of these cards that I'm using. It's perfectly free. If you don't like my newsletter, you can opt out at any time and continue to use these cards. And you can use them, once a day. I really recommend that people don't do it more often than once a day. So wait until tomorrow to start playing with them, because I don't want to put you in overwhelm. But, they're automated. You can't mess it up. And all the information that I was giving out today, it's right there online, so you can use it that way.
Great.
And thank you.
Well, thank you so much.
You're very welcome. All right, our next caller is area code 678. Who am I speaking with, please?
Hi, thank you. This is Julie.
Hi, Julie. How are you?
Good, thanks.
And how can I help you today?
I was just wanting more clarity on the relationship I have with my mother. It's always been kind of strained, like just no communication really. You know, there's deep respect and love there.
Yeah.
But ever since, even though I was just a little child, just couldn't really talk to her or anything, and trying to get that cleared up.
Okay. So just take a moment, surrender to spirit, and ask for help. So I pulled the first card, and the card says self-sabotage to avoid transforming. And so I pulled another card, and it's an ancestral thing. So the ancestor male. It's a female. Is it on mom's side of the family? Yep. More than 5 generations back? No. 5, 4, 3, 2. Okay, so this is your mother's issue, not yours. Okay. So let's see what's going on with your mom, and we'll do a clearing to clear this from your mom, and hopefully this will help your relationship. Because, you know, anything that's ancestral, you got it too. You know, it's one thing about, you know, the fingers pointing out there, well, there's 3 fingers pointing back, right? But, and your kids, and then your grandmother and great-grandmother and all that before your mom. So when we do a clearing on an ancestral basis, it clears backwards and forwards through time. So first thing it says is that your mother was not or is not happily married. Because there's no love there. Denied infidelity is the other card that came up. So that's the setup on this. And let's see what this did to your mother's soul. And this is where you connect in with your mother. This is that point of resonance, if you will. It's called soul reaction. So let me pull one of the yellow cards for you. So it says your ability to be in relationship has been disrupted. And there's a stuck belief. And that stuck belief is this one. I can't have what I want. Okay, let's clear this thing. So does that make sense? That there was some infidelity going on in your parents' marriage, and there wasn't a lot of love?
Yep, that makes perfect sense.
And so, go ahead.
Oh, no, that makes so sense. I have siblings older and younger than me that my father was apparently kept going back and forth between my mother and another woman. So,
oh, wow.
Yes.
Okay. And so, you know, what that did was it really messed up your mother's ability to be in relationship with him, but it also then gets projected out on you. You're not the only one of your siblings who deals with this inability to communicate. Your mother, her life lessons, communication from the heart. And, you know, so she created this in order to master her own life lesson, if you will. And so, yeah, let's fix this. What I want you to do is I want you to connect with your mother at the level of her higher self. And I want you to let her vent. Let's get all this anger and shame and humiliation and rage, all the stuff that she's sort of taken out on you all over these years, because she was holding it inside herself. And the object of that really was your dad. Well, let's just let her let it go. And you could just kind of like imagine her yelling, screaming, hollering, stomping her feet, whatever she needs to do, until all of that negative emotion is just spent. Until she just is an emotional in emotional collapse, to the point that she's so empty that now you can help her to fill herself back up with love, self-love. Let her higher self pour the vibration of self-love into her. Okay, so where this is impacting is at your throat chakra. That's where this block is. So I want you to put your attention on your throat center, and I want you to invite it to open and to release all the words that you ever wanted to say to your mother, but weren't able to. All the words that you ever wanted to hear from your mother, but you didn't. And they're all just stuck in your throat center. Just let them all flow out and allow your throat center to heal itself and to balance its energies, yin and yang. And then I want you to create a bottle. This bottle cards come up on every reading today. I want you to create a bottle, and I want you to invite all of the obstacles that have held back your ability to be in right relationship with your mother into the bottle. And put a cork in it and give it to God. And Julie, you get blessings from the angels for having the courage to deal with this. You call in today. So let's see what the angels have for you. And the first card is the return of your authority, your power, and your confidence. The second one is renewed faith in yourself. And the final blessing is release from overwhelm. So just give this 24 hours to process, and then just open those lines of communication with your mom. Just tell her how much you love her, and she'll be able to hear you now. And it's gratitude that owns every clearing. So just take a moment and give thanks to your angels, teachers, and guides. And I ask that all of your reference points are updated, all ways that you perceive and you are perceived in the world. And I thank you for calling in. I hope this helps.
Yes, thank you.
All right. So we have time for a couple more clearings if you would like one. The number is 657-383-1895. And we'll be here for you for a little while longer. And you know what I'd like to do while I'm waiting to see if anybody else would like to call in and get a clearing, I want to do a more general clearing for all of us for this new moon energy to open us up to manifest what we do desire in our life, what we deserve in our life. So let's see where we've blocked ourselves from manifesting all that we desire. So just surrender to Spirit and ask for help. Okay. And this one is a birth thing. So let's see what happened around birth that is holding us back from giving birth to a new reality for each of us as the winds of change blow on planet Earth. And the first thing it says is failure, ruin, and poverty, and punished for another's misdeeds. So it's kind of like what I was talking about at the beginning, you know, how we come in here as a clean slate, but we get laid on us this trip of, you know, whatever, you know, that we're supposed to be this way, we're supposed to be that way, and we don't ever seem to be able to measure up to it. And let's see what that has done to our souls, because we're going to throw this off right now, because we don't need to carry this any longer. The soul reaction on this is loss of faith in ourselves. And there is a stuck belief that we need to acknowledge so that we can let it go. Stuck belief is in struggle. I've got to struggle. I've got to struggle to earn love. I've got to struggle to earn money. I've got to struggle to get anywhere. Oh, boy. All right, let's clear this thing. I'm going to pull 3 of the clearing cards. And let's do this together, because this is our common issue for today. And it ties right in with the Being of Love cards that I pulled at the beginning of the show. So let's pull 3 clearing cards. So what I want you to do is go back in time, back to your birth, to the moment of your birth. And I want you to find your little baby self who's come into this world, and it's like a major oh shit moment. They feel like, whoa, wait a minute, is this what I signed up for? And we feel punished. As the days go by, we feel punished for things we didn't do because it didn't turn out exactly how we'd imagined it. And what ends up happening is we keep manifesting this where life doesn't turn out as we had imagined it because we end up selling ourselves short through lack of self-love and for lack of faith in ourselves and buying into this struggle. So just let your little baby self scream. Let her vent or he vent all of the rage and the fear and the shame and the guilt and the anger and the humiliation. Let's just let it all go. And then I want you to pretend like you're looking at yourself in a mirror. And what you see is your image, but it's overshadowed by this baby that wanted things to be different. So just gently blow on the mirror so that that baby can be blown away and you can see the truth of you, your true self, your light. Because that's all you are, is light. The truth that you are created in the image of the Creator, that you are divine, that you are powerful, that you are wonderful, that you are beautiful. So now that this burden has been taken off, I want you to pretend like you're holding up a sheet of paper. And you're going to laugh because I'm going to tell you to have that baby write you a message. And you're going to say, well, how can a baby write me a message? They don't know how to write yet. Trust me, it'll happen. Little baby you, write you a message on this piece of paper that you're holding up. And when your baby self is complete, turn the paper around and read your message. And my baby self says, finally, thank you. I knew it. I knew it all along. How cool is that? And we each get blessings for doing this work. So I'm going to pull us all 3 of the violet cards. And these are the blessings from the angels. The first one is synchronistic flow and good fortune. I'll take that. The second one is union, the ability to accept love from yourself, from spirit, from your partner, from your family. And the final blessing is renewed faith in yourself. And it's gratitude that owns every clearing. So just take a moment and give thanks to your angels, your teachers, and your guides. To all those of the light who are supporting each of us on our journey, been there since the very beginning of time, and they'll continue to walk beside each of us throughout all of eternity, loving us unconditionally. And I ask that all of our reference points are updated, all ways in which we perceive and we are perceived in the world. And I ask that we're wrapped in sheets of rainbow light, gently sealing this work in to whatever degree is appropriate for each of our spiritual evolutionary states. So be it, and so it is. This has been a great show, and I think that's the perfect way to end it. I love you all, and I'll catch you next time. Until then, remember, people who take responsibility for their lives create the reality they desire. Ciao.
Right now at Gap Factory and Banana Republic Factory, save 50 to 70% off everything in stores and online. That's right, 50 to 70% off everything. Celebrate the 4th with dresses from $19.99 at Banana Republic Factory. And at Gap Factory stores, tees start at $4.99. Plus, save an extra 40% off clearance. Sale ends Tuesday. Search our store locator for your nearest Gap Factory and Banana Republic Factory store or shop us online. Right now at Gap Factory and Banana Republic Factory, save 50 to 70% off everything in stores and online. That's right, 50 to 70% off everything. Celebrate the 4th with dresses from $19.99 at Banana Republic Factory. And at Gap Factory stores, tees start at $4.99. Plus, save an extra 40% off clearance. Sale ends Tuesday. Search our store locator for your nearest Gap Factory and Banana Republic Factory store or shop us online.